Hello, welcome.
Hi, my name is Natasha. Thank you so much for having me here. It's a great honor. I think I have very basic questions, so I'm going to try and make it quick. But my first question is meditation and science. How does it go hand in hand, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, there are many thoughts. I don't know what to call it. It's a very interesting phase in our life, actually, this century, where I see that there is amalgamation, coming together of something that was considered so opposite to science and spirituality, science and religion. You know the story, Copernicus, Galileo, and all those, great scientists. They were at crossroads with Christianity. When they found in their scientific research that Earth is, like many other planets, rotating around the sun, while the religious belief was sun is rotating around the planets. So when Galileo and he proclaimed that it's the Earth, religious people couldn't tolerate it. See, they wanted to kill him because it's going against the Holy Scripture. If he could create a doubt in one thing, then he'll be able to create doubt in many other things. So religions fought against scientific discovery. Galileo was summoned. He said, "You better change your opinion, otherwise we'll have to finish you." And he was poisoned to death, killed actually. But prior to that, he said, "I'm willing to tell you that sun is moving around the earth. But that will not change the fact." So that further infuriated this. Now, you see, scientific discovery was deadly against the religious belief in those days. Now there is revenge time. Revenge time how? There are beautiful spiritual researches coming up. Now science wants a proof. Earlier, religion wanted a proof from science. Now science wants a proof from spiritual approaches, and nothing wrong with it. Only thing wrong with such an approach, science would like to have repeated experience or the repeated results of the same thing. Right? How can you have repeated results on the same thing? For example, water boils at 100-degree temperature. Right? But when you go to heights, let us say Nainital and some further heights, and on Everest, for example, try to boil water there. It will boil, but at much lower temperature, because the pressure is much lower there. Generally, water freezes at 0-degree temperature, but if you add salt to it, it will not freeze at 0-degree. It will need much lower temperature to freeze it. That's why in colder countries, when it snows, they just throw salt so that it wouldn't freeze at 0-degree. It would still require lower temperature to freeze it. Now, if simple water with two atoms, hydrogen and oxygen, can behave in such a complex way. Human system is extremely complex. Moment to moment, even without doing anything, you change. Suppose if I close my eyes and meditate, I have some experience. If I want to reproduce the same experience in you, it's not possible. If I want to reproduce the same experience in myself also, it's not possible. But science wants uniformly everything same way. It's not possible. So we have to know our limits. That human system is quite complex. You cannot reproduce the same results. But you can have some similar results. For example, let's say you meditate for hours at a time or things like that, and see if I can, through meditation, yogic transmission is used, and put you in delta wave. which can be measured through EEG. Then you would say, yes, transmission, when it is added to meditation, can produce delta wave in an individual. There are many experiments done on meditation and measuring of this wave pattern, and the results are very beautiful. People who have meditated for 10,000 hours average in their life, or 15,000, 20,000 hours in their life. And when their EEG is measured, it is a very peculiar one. It comes in a very short time. But with this heartfulness way meditation, when you meditate with transmission, it comes even if you are a novice in the field of meditation, these waves will come instantly. Now, what does this prove? It doesn't prove anything else. It is only comparing true meditation and their impacts on our neurological system. As we were talking, effect of compassion, being compassionate, you can have elevated happy hormones or elevated joyful hormones in the system. What does this prove? Does it prove anything spiritual out of it? No. Spiritual experience, the word itself, spirit, it's so subtle, you cannot never measure it. Of course, the spiritual experiences can have neurological impact, and this neurological impact can be measured, but never the spiritual experiences. It's an indirect measurement. So if you want to say, oh, I would like to scientifically prove that God realization is great, or salvation is great, or liberation is greater, you cannot prove it. But you can see the lifestyle of such individuals who have experienced this thing.
And how it changes them.
How it changes the atmosphere around them. Correct. How the people who are affected in their presence. For example, if you are seated by the dog which is always angry, wow, 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 all the time, how do you
get
feel?
Irritated. Yeah.
Well, there are dogs which are so loving, and then, sorry to give such example about compare them saints and dogs and things, but there are human beings. You are suppose you seated in a flight and some weird fellow sits beside you and he behaves in certain way. How do you feel at that time?
To slap his face.
Go ahead. So each one carries the vibrations, their own flavor, depending upon who they are. And how do we change from inside? By our thinking, by our behaving in certain way, by our attitudes, by the goals we carry in our life, values that we cherish. All these things creates a field around us. When a person is angry all the time, imagine his inner state. What made him so? Similarly, imagine the amount of efforts a saint must have put to arrive at a state where everybody uniformly can say, oh, I like his company or her company. So it's good, but I don't think there is any gadget which can prove it. It's only your experience will tell you.
Okay, so I met the children and I'm very impressed because they could read without seeing. And I was like, what? I can't even do that with seeing. But so I want to know how will, let's say, meditation or any of these things. Now, let's say if someone has childhood traumas or childhood wounds that they have to heal, how will that be possible?
It helps. It helps.
Okay.
There is a process, we call it rejuvenation or cleaning. It's getting rid of old baggage that we have. And it takes time to, deeper the wound, longer the time it will take. It depends on you again, see, how ready you are to let go of it. Often people don't know how to use the method. Suppose even if I give you a method and say, okay, let's get rid of this wound or let's get rid of this pattern. Now, often some boys comes to us and say, "Oh, I'm so obsessed with thinking of this girl again and again. She has ditched me, and yet I keep thinking of her." And so they look for, how to get rid of it. So I give them the method, right? But they reinforce the same thing, because each time they sit with the purpose, I want to get rid of her, I want to get rid of her, I want to get rid of her. And they reinforce more and more and more the same memory. Idea is to let go of things.
So now, since you've said that, my next question is, because I hear this a lot and I teach yoga, because I say it also, let go, surrender, and I feel these are very potent words, but how do you do it? How do you let go?
Okay. Create a condition inside you that it makes it happen naturally. Moment you mentally remind yourself, it's not natural. See, give you example. When you are breathing normally, I don't need to remind myself. Oh, right? Only when I'm whizzing and say, okay, I take a pump, then you make an effort.
Correct.
Right? Any effort is unnatural. Even effort to let go of things, though we talk,
exactly,
it doesn't happen. Okay. So we have to create inner state, such an inner natural state, that this thing happens and falls off on their own in such a way you don't even know when they fell off in the past. It just, unless some childhood friend comes back and says, "Oh, do you remember that?" then it may come back again, only as a memory, but not as emotional baggage. We've passed it.
But I feel like, for me also, just letting go, because so many people say just let go, it's okay, release the tension. Like I went to this acupressure doctor, and he told me that you just have to stop revisiting the past. And I said, I'm not revisiting the past, but there is still pain, or there's still anxiety inside me, which I'm trying to let go. And also, when I wanted to go to him, I even said that, no, I don't want to come to you, because if I do get healed, then what am I going to think about? What am I going to, because we are so...
Hold on to it.
Yeah, we hold on to it because we think that is it. Like we hold on to pain or suffering, and we don't know how to let go. And if we let go, at least this is personally, I feel like then there is nothing that makes us us. So, yeah.
So coming to this Sahaj state, natural state, that's the only key. That's the solution to everything. You see, my Guruji used to say, have a solution in life in such a way that having solved one problem, you have solved all other problems in life. Ek saade sab sade, sab saade sab jaye. Try to solve trying to solve so many things, you will not be able to solve so many things. Relationships, food problem, gadgets problem, so many things. In one go, let go of it. Create inner state in such a way that you become lovingly responsive rather than being reactive all the time. And this happens only through meditation, I'm telling you. There is no other way. That's why meditation is the gateway to enlightenment.
It is. It's the final step in...
And even if you are not craving for enlightenment, it will make your life better.
Makes you a better person also.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.